my chat family. How are you doing? Welcome into today's conversation and podcast. I'm Marlene of the Marlene Saunders Show, and I talk about, really important conversations. And this one is a very important one. First, shout out to my mods. How are you doing, Jackie? I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. You're very much appreciated. I hope the volume is good and we're okay with that. I want to talk about mental health. Our mental health is so important. It's so very important to talk about mental health because, like my title says, you never know what someone is going through. I don't know what you're going through. You don't know what I'm going through. I've had periods of time in my life where I was so down and I was so distraught because of my situation, because of trauma, because of just life in general. Sometimes your life just goes in such a terrible direction. Good morning, Uncle L. How are you doing? Welcome. Happy Monday. And happy 1st of July. Happy new month, everybody. Yes, Jackie. I have to say that you never know what somebody is going through. You never know what somebody is dealing with. You never know the issues that another person is facing. There are so many people that act like they don't have issues, or they want other people to be patient with them, but they don't know how to be patient themselves. Good morning, Destiny. How are you doing? Welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. You're very much appreciated. And I wanted to say that I think it's so important for this conversation and discussion to say that you never know another person's mental health. You never know what a person could be struggling with that day. You don't. But I don't know why it is, as human beings, a lot of people think that their issues are more important than another's. It doesn't matter if a person is a billionaire and a person could be homeless. Every single person is still a human being. We are all humans. We all have issues. Every single person has issues. And for one person to think that their issues are less valuable and less important than the other, that means that that person really needs to do an evaluation. There's so much people that they just need to work on themselves, and they need to work on themselves. And it's nothing wrong with taking a break from life and just working on yourself. Your mental health is so important that you need to pour some love, some time into yourself. And because we live in such a busy society, it makes it seem like if you want to take any time off work, if you don't want to spend time with your family, or don't even be the person that sets those boundaries and says no to people. We have to. Sometimes you have to say no to everybody else so that you can be okay mentally. You never know what another person is struggling with. Some people are struggling just on a day-to-day, just trying to not bring some self-harm to themselves because their life is such a big struggle that they don't even know what to do next. Could we be more kind and more patient with other people? I see it all the time. People have these road rage. People like to, especially on social media, dox people. You better be careful what you do to another person. Every single person is a human being, every single person. Let's see what I missed. Good morning, Miss Emma. How are you doing? Welcome. I think that it's so important to have this discussion because so many people are going through some deep and dark issues. I don't know about you all, but I have been through that period of time where I have been through some very dark issues, some very dark problems, especially when I was experiencing some loss of some family members. It's a struggle when you lose people that you love in your life. And for me, it was happening like back to back. I lost this person, I lost that person. I lost 4 people that were very important to me. I lost some people who are very important to me in a very quick period of time. I feel so sad for people who don't know that it's okay to take a break. It's okay to take a break so that you can be okay. I want you all to understand that it's okay to take a break from society. It's okay to take a break from work. It's okay to take a break from just life so that you can be okay, so you can process all of it. Take a break. And especially we have to take a break sometimes from our family members. I don't know how many people who are like me that have family members that are very, very disrespectful, and they're users and they're takers, and they only want. And if you need anything, they're not there to support you. Same thing happened to me. I lost family members in less than 2 months. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Uncle L. Hi, Fox. How are you doing? We never know what another person is dealing with and going through. Hi, Frizzo. You never know what somebody is going through, and you never know what another person is dealing with. So could we be kinder to others? Could you be kinder to yourself? We really don't think about ourselves when we talk about mental health. We see when other people's mental health is failing, and sometimes we can be very harsh and judgmental. Oh, look at, they're acting crazy. But do you know what they have in their head? Do you know what's going on in their heart? Do you know their emotional trauma that they're dealing with or not dealing with? 4 Horses scripture says, do it anyways. Don't expect squat. We aren't supposed to focus on ourselves. Okay, 4 Horses. It's so important for us to take time to care for ourselves, care for our own well-being. Because if we are not okay, how can we give to others? And how can we also be okay ourselves? It's important to have self-esteem and to have self-awareness. There's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong to love yourself. And for a long period of time, I thought it was wrong. I thought it was wrong to even spend some time on myself. I used to feel guilty because I wanted to give back. I used to feel guilty that I said no to people. I used to feel guilty that I couldn't show up for everybody. But at the same time, nobody was showing up for me. Who shows up for you when you're okay, when you're not okay? Who shows up for your children if you have children, or your parents or your siblings? See, what people in this society want it to be like is you're just supposed to go like you're a robot. You know? You're supposed to go like you're a robot. You're supposed to always have a smile on your face, and you're supposed to never act like you don't have any problems. Every single person has problems. Every single person. Thank you so much, Destiny. Every person has problems, but the whole thing about it is that so much people are so, I don't know if it's ignorance, or I don't know if they just don't want to believe it and accept it. Good morning, Tamika. A lot of people don't want to accept that they need to pause for a moment. Instead of always acting like they're perfect, always acting like they don't have problems, always acting like they don't have issues. That's not true. Everybody has issues. Every single person has issues. Every single one. So I had to start doing that for myself. Learning to fill up my own cup. Learning to take care of me. Learning to say that if I am not doing okay mentally, I'm going to take a day off. I know so many people that yes, you have bills, you're an adult, and you have to be responsible. But when we go through situations, there's nothing wrong with taking some time for our mental health. You need a mental health day. especially to all of those of my chat family that are caregivers. If you're caregivers to maybe an older family member, or if you have somebody in your family that has special needs, or maybe your children, you're doing double duty, because when you have somebody in your life that has special needs, that never ends. It's not like you have a child and then one day they're grown and then they move on with their life. These are individuals that will be dependent on us their entire lives. So that we can take care of them, we have to take care of ourselves. So having that time, that respite care to just get away, even going for a walk, getting some exercise, but you got to pour something into yourself so that you can be okay. And I had to learn that as I got older. I grew up in this society where you always have to be there for your family members. You always have to be there for your relatives. You always have to be there for friends. But the moment that you say you want to be there for yourself, everybody's like, "Oh, that's selfish." Or how come you can't do that tomorrow? Or how come you can't do that later? No. When you need a break, you're the one that has to know that. You have to know when your cup is empty. And I used to do that all the time. I would always wait until my cup was empty and then try to focus on my mental health. No. You have to focus on your mental health all the time. And it's simple things like making sure you're taking care of your physical appearance. Even something as simple as making sure you put yourself together, fixing your hair. If you're a lady that likes makeup, or a haircut, but whatever it is that makes you look at yourself in the mirror and to say, I look good. And listen, I don't care what anybody has to say. When you look good, you feel good. Your appearance will shift everything. I've had many moments, many dark times in my life. I'm a human being. That there are times where you don't want to put yourself together when you're dealing with some mental health issues. And especially, my heart goes out to all those who have depression, PTSD, even some mental illness, those who are bipolar, schizophrenic. When there's issues that people have that is affecting your mental health, the last thing that you want to do is put yourself together and look good. All you're thinking about is your problems. All you're thinking about is your sadness, your pain, your hurt, your disappointments. But those are the times where we have to push past all of that. And I know for myself, when I'm feeling that I can't get myself up, that's when you got to pick up the phone and call somebody that will care for you. I don't mean just anybody. I mean somebody who actually cares for you, not the fake support. And let me just say this in real talk fashion. Not everybody that comes around us or claims to love you actually does. There's a lot of people who say that they love you. There's a lot of people who say that they care about you. A lot of people say, I'm here for you, but actually they're only there for you when you can help them. And the moment that you stop helping them, they don't want nothing to do with you. Anytime when you start to focus on yourself, you're trying to elevate, maybe you're trying to get a home or an apartment, or you're trying to move from, a place that is not such a nice environment, that you want to live in a nicer community, that you want to get your education, you want to get a better job. Anytime you're trying to experience personal growth, you're always going to find that people will fall off from you. People will fall off when they see that you're not like you used to be. Anytime you start to do better, and especially if you ever get in a good, healthy relationship, just be happy. That's one thing that I have noticed. The moment that you start walking around and you're smiling, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to fall out of your life. Or when you stop being negative, or you don't want to be around that crowd of people who are gossiping, those people are going to fall off. They're going to, just like sand on the shoreline. That's the amount of people who will fall out of your life. You find out the people who really care about you when you're in a struggle. Ask me, because I know it. All the times where when I lost my dad from cancer, followed by losing my mom 6 months later, followed by losing my aunt. followed by losing my brother, followed by a miscarriage. In my hardest and my darkest times in my life, that is when people were the most evil, the most demented, the most like cutthroat to me. See, you really find out who people are when you're in your struggle period, whether that could be struggling just to cope with your day-to-day life, struggling financially, struggling with some physical, maybe you have a health problem or issue, or maybe you're just sad, down. I know that many people struggle with maybe not depression all year, but some people struggle with seasonal depression. They struggle with all of these things, you know. Oh, don't be sorry, Destiny. I'm not sorry. Don't be sorry for me. I went through what I went through so that I could be stronger. I'm grateful for my struggle. I know not a lot of people think the way I think, but I'm grateful for my struggle, because if I didn't learn how to be strong, if I didn't get therapy, if I didn't go and experience those things, I'm not looking at a book and reading, how do you cope when you have experienced loss? How do you cope when you lose a child? How do you cope when everything seems to be down? No. I didn't read that from a book. I experienced that in my real life. That's why I can come to y'all with this real conversation and real topic, because I'm not reading it. I experienced it. It was my life. I know all about sadness and depression and being in a dark hole. I know what it feels like to be in that dark hole. I don't know who has experienced it, but to be in such a dark space to where you don't even feel like getting up. You wish that the sun doesn't even come up. You wish that you didn't even wake up from your sleep. I know what that feels like. I'm not asking nobody. I know what that feels like. You wake up in the morning, you just want to put that cover right back over your face and just say, I don't want to. Okay? No matter what you're going through and dealing with, never give up on your life. Never give up on your life. And especially don't give up because maybe people will say something to you. You know, I know what that feels like when you're in your darkest hour of your life. And people will come and say something to you. You're already down. You're broken. You're crushed. You're sad, disappointed. Everything. You feel the weight on your head and your heart. And then somebody comes and does something so cutthroat and will just jab you right in your heart. I'm telling you, when you're down, there's always going to be people who are going to come against you, whether enemies, wicked people, whatever. There's always going to be people in your hardest times of your life that are going to try to get to you. There are people out there that when you are struggling, they smile. You know, there's some people who love the misery. They love the drama and to try to, can they get a rise from you? You know, some people can only be happy when they can step on you to elevate themselves. They don't know any better. They don't know any different. They only want to see you down. And when you're down, they're so happy. But listen, we have the ability to shift that and change it. To all of you, to anybody who hears this message, where you're in the replay, whether you're live here with me, no matter what you have been through, you have the opportunity to shift your mind and to change it. See, I'm not saying this because I read it somewhere. I'm saying it because I had to do it for myself. There's many times that I attempted to unalive myself. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times. I attempted so many times. I took pills. I tried to cut my neck. I did so many things. I put myself in serious situations to hoping that harm would come my way. But over and over again, I was saved. Over and over again. Over and over again. One time, somebody resuscitated me. Oh, another time, when I had cut my neck with a, what did he call it? The one that, a box cutter right here on my neck. You can still see the scar. When I did that, somebody came and banged on the door and told me to get out of the bathroom. Don't tell me that I don't have a purpose. And don't let anybody tell you that you don't have a purpose. When you're going through dark times, the last thing that you feel is valuable. The last thing that you feel is special. The last thing that you feel is important. But you are important. Hi, Angela, and anybody that I missed who came in. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not important. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not special, because you are. You're very special. You're very special and you're very important. But in our dark times, maybe when you don't have the financial means, maybe when you're in an environment of people who are toxic, okay? I know what that feels like to be in a toxic environment where you're trying to think better, you're trying to do better, you want to elevate, but everybody in your environment seems to be kicking you when you're down. The moment that you start making a decision, I don't want to think this way anymore. I want to feel better about myself. I don't want to stay in this. Like if you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to go to school, you want a better job, you want to open a business. When anytime you want to elevate, there's always going to be somebody around you that will try to kick you. They will try to break your hopes and your dreams. They will tell you that you can't do something. There's always going to be those evil people. And in my belief system, I think that those are evil and wicked people, even some people who are inspired by demons. But that's my thought. You all are welcome to think what you think. But there are always going to be people who feel that they can get you down just by a word. And if you're not careful, they will. They will. See, it's all about what you allow yourself to think. What do you allow yourself to think? Angela says, I can relate to that, Marlene. God wants you here. Thank you so much, Angela. How are you doing? And welcome in everybody who is here live. I appreciate every single one of you. I wanted to come and do this topic about mental health because I wanted to say this. You never know what somebody is going through. I remember when I was going through my sadness, my depression, my feelings of worthlessness, my low self-esteem, when I was going through all of those things, I never looked like my storm. So don't look at somebody somebody who looks put together, somebody who appears to have everything right, even living in a nice home, has a nice family. It doesn't mean that they don't struggle with mental health issues. It doesn't mean that. So I always say all the time, if you have somebody and you care about and you love them, don't wait to tell them you love them. Don't wait to tell people you appreciate them. Don't wait to give people their flowers. Don't wait to say, oh, I'll call them tomorrow. You never know if that person is on the brink of thinking, I don't want to be here anymore. You don't know if somebody is on the brink of saying, I want to unalive myself. You never know what a person is dealing with and going through. That person could have a handful of pills. That person could have a switchblade. That person could make a tourniquet ready to hang themselves. You never know what that person is thinking. And I know that we don't like to think that way. And when a person is thinking that way, yes, they're not operating on all cylinders, but that's why I wanted to have this conversation, because I know, because I've been there. When you start thinking crazy like that because of so many reasons. Some people have some mental imbalances. Some people it's just high amount of stress. Some people it's just drama within their lives or deep sadness because they don't want to open up and talk about the things that they're dealing with. And I'm here to tell you 100% of the time, when we have had issues in our past and you just ignore it, it's like it's a secret. You want to hide it. I don't know who came from a background like me, but I grew up in that environment thinking that you don't talk about your pain. You don't talk about your sadness. You just keep it to yourself. You don't tell anybody your business. And I don't mean to go and tell a stranger your personal and your private business. That's not what I mean. I mean, if you're dealing with something and it's more than you can handle, it's nothing wrong with talking to a therapist. It's nothing wrong with getting a counselor and a mentor and a life coach so that you can be better. I had to learn that this is my life and I have to make a decision how I am dealing with it. And sometimes we're not, sometimes we're not dealing with our life okay. And it's nothing wrong if you feel that way. Reach out and get some help. Who cares what your family members or your friends, quote unquote, will say about you? If you're struggling with something mentally, I want to get this message out. If you're struggling, it doesn't matter what another person says or thinks or what other people's opinions are. When we are struggling as human beings, Remember how important you are. I'm important. And if I'm not coping with my life in a good way, I need to reach out and get some help so that I can be. That's what this conversation really is about for me. I wanted to have this real talk, real conversation with all of you chat family. If anybody is struggling with, I don't know if I want to be here anymore, or feeling that I'm nobody, or feeling that you're worthless, none of that is true. That's a lie. So could it be that maybe the people around us are maybe toxic and hazardous to our elevation and our personal growth? Maybe. You know, we can't do anything about the people around us, but we can do something about how we think about ourselves. We can do something about how we treat ourselves. We can do something about the way we talk to ourselves. We can do something about all of those things. And also, we can reach out, you know, and even if you don't want to go in person and go to a therapist, you can, there's therapists that you can call right on your phone and have a virtual visit. But I recommend being in person because it's something very special about looking into the eyes of your therapist, or especially, and make sure if you're going to get a therapist, get a good therapist, one that you can vibe with, one that is along the lines of what you need. I know I had to go through 2 therapists until I found my therapist that worked for me. Yes. Angela says, yes, a therapist can give you coping techniques and help you your perspective. Therapy has been a blessing for me. Yes, and me as well. I know that especially in certain communities, minorities, that there is always some shame attached to going to therapy. And I will say to that, you know, I remember when I was going through therapy and I was clowned. I was clowned by my family. I was clowned by my friends. Oh, she's crazy. She's cuckoo. She's seeing a therapist, and they would laugh at me. But guess what? The opinions of other people has no bearing on me anymore. When I know that I'm not doing okay, I know it's my time. I need to book myself a visit because my mental health is important. That's why I say you never know what somebody is going through. You never know what somebody is dealing with. You don't know if that person could have just experienced loss of whatever. You don't know if a person could be going through a divorce. That person could have lost a child, and even some who lose their pets. You know, our fur children, fur babies. They become our family. You don't know the sadness that a person is experiencing. And just because something may not matter to you doesn't mean it doesn't matter to them. Everybody deals with situations differently. Everybody has a different background and personality. And I want to say, it's okay. It's okay, you know, and if you don't have people in your life that support you, you got to look for people who will. And I found that when I went through therapy and I started talking about my issues and my problems, and then my therapist helped me to find a support group. And that support group, when I tap into them, we have a weekly support group and we talk about the things that we're dealing with. I'm in a support group for, you know, losing people that you love, you know, like it's oh boy, I can't think of the name. It just went out of my head. A grieving. It's a grieving therapy group. And we talk about that all the time. And also I'm in therapy for way back when I was about 16 years old, I had an eating disorder. So even though that I feel come through it, sometimes, you know, I start to develop some of those bad behaviors again. Like anytime I get stressed out, I want to starve myself. Okay. I had anorexia nervosa. And anytime I start going through something, I want to starve myself. But now I know about bad habits. I have a schedule. I keep a food diary, and I don't allow other people to make me develop some toxic behaviors and habits like I used to. I used to let the opinions of other people, I used to let that have so much weight and so much power over me and affect my mental health. See, we cannot let people who they don't know anything about you. And even the people who say they care about you and love you, it doesn't mean they do. And I know that hurts. I know that hurts because I went through that. The people that you expect to love you, they don't. Like your, your siblings. It could even be one of your parents. It could be a friend. It could be somebody you're in a relationship with. Not everybody that we have in our life cares about us and loves us. Some people are just opportunists. They're just people who just want to take. They're manipulators. And some people are love bombers. They only tell you they love you so that they can use you and keep you in that circle of using you, that circle of toxicity. And none of it is good. And once you realize that, going to therapy made me come to the realization that people I have in my life, and even though I say I care about them, it doesn't mean they do. So I had to come to a fork in the road where I said, I cannot let you keep affecting my mental health. Sometimes it's the people we have in our life that makes us feel the way we feel. And when we cut ourselves off from the toxicity, when we cut ourselves off from their negativity, when we cut them off, when you set those boundaries, I'm not going to do all of these things for you like I used to. I'm not going to do this or that. So you're going to start seeing them drop out of your life. See, when people realize that you're not going to be a doormat anymore, when people find out that you're not going to be whatever, they can't manipulate you and use you like a little puppet on the strings. Thank you so much, Destiny. When people find out that, oh, she's stronger now, or especially if you're in a toxic relationship, and when they find out they can't control you and tell you everything what to do, and all of those things. When people can't do all of those things to us anymore, now they hate us. See, that saying is so true. It's a thin line between love and hate. Because when somebody finds out that they can't use you anymore, when they can't manipulate you, when they can't control you, when they can't play mind games with you, when they can't love bomb you into making you do things for them, now those people will drop out of your life, and those same people will start a war between you and them. And you didn't do nothing. All you did is say no. And I learned that. To find out who are the people who really care about you in your life, tell them no. Tell them I can't. Tell them I can't afford to. See, when we talk about our mental health, a lot of times we have not said no to people when we needed to say no to them. There's a lot of times where we know we don't want to do that. We know we're not supporting that. We know we don't like it. We know we don't want to show up. Okay? When they can't use us anymore, when we say no, when we're not here for their foolish talk. I don't know how many of you that have people in your life that they only call you on the negative. They only call you with their problems, their drama, their foolishness. They call you when they're struggling with whatever the issue is. But when they're in that good season, maybe when they just got paid, they just get some money. When things are good in their life, you never hear from these people. That's how I learned who the toxic people were. If you can't call me in your good times and your bad, you cannot be in my life. And I had to learn that for myself. And it took me a long time. And no matter how much I care about people, even if it's your own sibling, even if it's your parent, no matter who a person is in your life, but if they only call you when they want, when they only call you in bad times and sad times. Hi, Miss Me, how are you doing? If people can only call you in their sad and dark times, and they can never call you and say, hey, I got a raise at my job, or hey, I'm in a relationship. And that's a whole another topic that I'm going to talk about another day. But there are so many people who only want to be around you when they're not in a relationship, when they break up, when they're having issues, when they're having problems. That's the only time they want to be around you. When things are sad, when things are bad, when they need money, when they're having some issues, whatever. There's only a problem friendship, or they're only calling you to vent or to say what the person in the relationship is not doing. And they only want to call you in the negative. And after a while, that starts to get to you. No matter how strong you are, no matter how strong you are, If you guys could please hit the like, I'd really appreciate it. No matter how strong you are, everybody needs some encouragement. Everybody needs people in our life that, not all the time, but from time to time, somebody to say, hey, how are you doing? Hey, can you, I was thinking about you. Hey, are you okay? And I found out for myself that the people that I care about don't care about me. I don't know how many people resonate with this message, but it's true. If you never have those same people that call you in their hard times and in their good times, or just call just to say hi, call to say, I just wanted to check on you. How was your day? If you don't have people like that in your life and they only want to call you, oh, can I hold $20? Can I hold this? Can you give me a ride? Can you buy me some groceries? Can you come with me to my appointment? So true. Today is a hard day. Everyone comes to me, but I find I have no one to go to. Exactly, Miss Me. That was my situation as well. And I'm so sorry that that's happening to you. That's why I always say you never know what somebody is going through. We look at other people and we think because they look good or they live in a certain home, drive a certain car, seem to have everything together. They seem to have this happy family life, that everything is okay. Just because a person looks good, it doesn't mean everything's okay with them mentally. It doesn't mean that they're coping well. I think everybody needs somebody to talk to. Everybody needs support. Everybody needs encouragement. Everybody. Nobody is immune to any of it. And I want to say that to anybody who needs to hear this message on today for your new week. We're in a new month. We're in July of 2024. And I know that many people, when they started off this year of 2024, we always say we're going to do better. We're going to think better. We're going to do all of these great things. Now here is an opportunity. We just started a brand new month of July. We can start to enact some healthier lifestyle. We can start to put in some healthier mindset that it's okay. At a certain time of my day, I'm going to turn my phone off because this is my time. And that's not being selfish. When you pour love into yourself, that's not being selfish. It means you respect yourself. You're aware of yourself. You know how to, iron sharpens iron. If you allow yourself to burn out, that it takes so much longer to recover when you let yourself burn out. Don't let yourself burn out. Take your rest. Know when you need to take some sleep, take some time off, cut off toxic people, no matter who they are. I don't care if it's your sibling. I don't care if it's your parents. I don't care who the person is. It could even be a person you're in a relationship. Matter of fact, sometimes the person that you're in a romantic relationship, you need to cut off. I know a lot of people aren't going to like this message, and I'm not here to give a message that's liked. I'm here to give a message that is real. Sometimes we're in a relationships with people and we need to leave them alone. We need to leave them alone. We need to back away from them. And people always talk about we love people, or they will talk about they love us. No, they love that they can use you. They love that they can control you. They love that they can get whatever it is from you. But elevate your mind. I talk about this on my other channel, Marlene Motivates. For more of motivation, you guys could follow me over there. But over here, I focus more on the real conversations like this one. Mental health is important. Getting what you need in your life, it's not selfish. So to anybody you've been dragging your feet from going after your dreams, you've been dragging your feet on, accomplishing a goal, doing something you want to. Don't stop. It's July 2024. You have a brand new month to make a plan. You got a brand new month that you can cut people off, block them. And it's not because you think you're better than anybody else. No, we don't think we're better. Our thinking is better. Our elevation is better. Jackie says we have to learn to set boundaries for ourselves as well as others. You have to. And if you don't, you're going to be miserable. Okay? If you don't, you're going to be miserable. And I don't want anybody in my chat family to feel that way. I don't want you to feel bad about yourself. And one thing that I have to say to all of you, if you feel that you are only used, you're the one that has to make a decision how long you're going to put up with it. I put up with it many, many years because I felt like I had to. I felt like if I didn't help or support my brothers or my sisters, aunts, uncles, grandparents, friends, my job, if I didn't always say yes, then they would stop loving me. They would stop caring about me. They would stop supporting me. And yes, sometimes they will. But if somebody stops caring for you or wanting to be around you because you say no, then they don't deserve to be in your life. You need to let them go anyways, because they're just a user. They're a user and a taker. They're a manipulator. And sometimes some people are love bombers, they're narcissists, they're so many things. A lot of people, they have some issues and they need to work on themselves. They're toxic. We can't do anything to change another person, but what we can do is do what we need to do for ourselves. What do you need to do for you? See, that's what's important. And my therapist helped me so that I could advocate and be strong. And because I get the strength from my therapist, I can come onto my platform and also speak about positive, you know, being healed from negative mindset and thinking and behaviors. See, if you want to be positive, you can be. If you want to be healthy, you can be. But a lot of times we will say like, oh, I have to. That's my brother. I have to pick this person up. I have to do this. I have to give them money. I have to. No, you don't. When you make a decision that I'm going to do what is best for me, everything in your life will start shifting. You watch. When I started shifting, my health improved. My credit score improved. I had more money in the bank. I started smiling. I had more peace. See, when you stop being toxic and you start being healthy and you start setting boundaries and making sure you're getting your sleep, making sure you're doing the things that you need to do first. You got to take care of yourself first. If you don't take care of yourself first, nobody is going to say, hey, I think you should sit down. I think you should take a vacation. I think you should turn off. No, they're not going to ever tell you to turn off your phone. They always want to know why your phone isn't on. Have you ever got those text messages? Why don't you have your phone on? I've been calling you. That's a controlling person. They always want access to you all the time. Why isn't your phone on? That's a very controlling and demanding person. Be careful of people who are like that, whether it's your sibling, your friend, or even your romantic relationship. If a person wants to know where you are every minute of the day, that's not a good thing. You need to stay away from people like that. And especially, it just came in my spirit, especially people who are in relationships like that. If it has not escalated to become a DV situation or domestic violence, it may be a person who has an anger, a controlling spirit on you that starts to affect your mental health. Why do I feel sad all the time? Why do I feel angry all the time? No. See, we deserve better than that. And I want to say that to all of my chat family. We deserve better than that. You deserve better than that. It doesn't matter who a person is. Nobody has the right to be yelling at you, making demands, using you, wasting your time. If you don't want to do something, then that's it. Thank you so much, Destiny. If you don't want to say something, if you don't want to do something, if you don't want to show up, then don't. You don't have to, okay? And with all of that, I just wanted to encourage anybody who feels some type of way. Hi, Sirius. How are you doing? Welcome. I've always said this, and I will never stop saying this. Until we begin to love ourselves, other people won't. I had to learn that for myself. I had to test those waters for myself. See, depending on how you grew up, depending on your background. I know there's many people who are like me. You didn't get fed that encouragement and motivation. I know many people are like that. And we will look at our people around, our family, quote unquote, expecting for them to love us. See, a person cannot give you what they don't possess. If they don't know how to love themselves, how can they love you? They don't know what love is. They don't know what boundaries are, because there's people who are always being so afraid. I don't know who has been through that like me, but I was so afraid. I remember when my therapist told me, you need to set boundaries with people. You need to tell people no. You need to. And I just said, I can't. They'll be mad at me. They're going to be angry at me. Well, then you're always going to suffer with poor mental health. So for myself, okay, for anybody who needs to hear this message, I want to shout this from the top of the mountains. Until you learn to focus on your mental health, you feeling good about yourself, you're always going to be down. You're always going to feel drained. You're always going to be used until you say, I'm not going to be used anymore. I'm not going to be taken advantage of anymore. I'm not going to be controlled. No, I'm not. It ends now. And there's going to be people, they're going to be angry. Yeah, they're going to be talking about you. They're going to hate you. They're going to say, oh, you think you're better. Get ready. Prepare for all of that, chat family. Because that's what they're going to do. Anytime when you elevate, when you get stronger, when you know your worth, I'm telling you, if it hasn't happened to you yet, it will. You just start enacting that. Start cutting off people who you know are toxic. Start saying no. Stop showing up. Okay? Stop showing up for people who don't show up for you. That's a whole word. Stop showing up for people who don't show up for you. Okay? See, you never know what somebody is going through. I don't know what you're going through. I know there are some people who are struggling just trying to make ends meet, just trying to keep a roof over their head, or trying to, after they pay their bills, they can't even eat. You barely can make your car payment or put gas in your car. You barely are making it. And I know that it's hard. It's a struggle. But also within that, don't just treat yourself any type of way. Make sure you wake up and give yourself a few minutes in the morning and a few minutes in the evening for your mental health. Okay? And I talk about that on my other channel, Marlene Motivates, how you can do that, how you can mindset shift, how you can support your mental health. We talk about that more over there because that's more of a motivational channel. But over here, I want to tell you all about the toxic behavior. See, when we talk about a real talk, real conversation, it's this one. A lot of people don't want for us to do things for ourselves. They only want us to do things for them. And the moment you're not available anymore, the moment you can't cash at them or give them money or give them a ride or buy them food or pay their bills, now they don't like you. Now you're the worst woman. Now you're the worst man. You're the most evil person. You never like me. You think you're better. You're jealous of me. That has never made any sense to me. When you stop enabling people in their toxicity, now they say you're jealous of me. Like, how am I going to be jealous of somebody who is always taking from me? I feel like that's wild. That's crazy. That's a whole nother dimension of being twisted. Yes, big facts. Exactly. A healthy relationship is reciprocated, not one-sided. And that's one thing that I had to learn. And I want to say that to all of my chat family. Love is reciprocated. Love is an action word. So if somebody is not showing up for you, and if they're always saying, I love you, but I love you if, or I love you when. No. If somebody says, I love you, and then right behind it, they want you to do something for you. I love you so much, or you look so nice, or you look pretty, or you look handsome, or you look this. They're trying to butter you up, trying to get you feeling good about yourself so that you will go ahead and do something for them. That's happened to me so many times that when you really start paying attention, start paying attention, chat family. If they say something and then right after they say something nice to you, it's followed by some toxic behavior, followed by something they want you to do something for them. It's just I love you and that's it. There's no stipulations on it. There's no I love you. Can you take me here? I love you. Can you buy me this? I love you. Can you give me some money? I love you. Can you give me a ride? Not that there's anything wrong with if somebody wants some help and you can. It's nothing wrong with that. But it shouldn't only be they tell you they love you so you can do something for them. No. That doesn't work. And that starts to affect your mental health. It really will. If somebody only loves you when you can be there for them, but what about when you say, because I don't know, I've said like I'm not feeling good or I'm tired. Have they hung up the phone? Okay, well, I guess you can't take me. Oh, I guess you don't have no money. Jackie says we have to learn to love ourselves first so we can know how to love other people. But that's the whole thing. When our mental health is not on the right wavelength, when we're not thinking right, we don't even think about those things. I know when I was in that situation, to where I was not in a good space, but I steady had people always still asking me, like if I tell you I'm tired, or if I tell you I'm not feeling well, and they don't even care about that. And they're like, so are you going to take me or not? Are you going to do this for me or not? Like, oh, you don't feel good. Like you can't, but why can't you take me then? See, they're not listening. There's no compassion there. There's no understanding. All it is they want what they want and they don't care about you. And I know that hurts because that hurts me. It's very hurtful when people you care about don't love you back, or they don't listen to you, or they're not understanding. But I had to learn that that's not love. Just because a person says they love you doesn't mean they do. And that was a very hard pill for me to swallow, that my own siblings, that maybe your own parents, that your own whoever person you're in a relationship with, or other people in your life, your friends, quote unquote. Just because a person says they love you, it doesn't mean they do. And I had to learn that for myself and process it, that just because a person says they love me, but their actions aren't showing up the right way. If I tell you I'm not feeling good or I'm going through something and they never call you, they never show up, they're never supportive of when you're going through something or dealing with, like, have they called you? Have they showed up? Do they show any care and concern in your hard or dark periods? Or are they only there when they could get there, when you are handing something out to them? Oh, tell them, oh, I have $20 for you. I have $50. I have $100. They'll be there right away. But if you say, can you come over? I just need somebody to talk to. Oh, I'm busy. I got something to do. Oh, I wish you would have told me. I got a busy schedule today. See, that's the mind games. There's a lot of people in our lives that play a lot of mind games. They're very controlling. And, have you ever said no to somebody and they're still pushing? Well, how about in an hour? How about in 20 minutes? Well, why can't you leave where you are and come and pick me up anyways? Why can't you do this? Or come on, I know you could take money out of this account or take it off your credit card because they know you're very responsible and you handle your money well. So don't let these people get in our head. No matter how much we care about people, don't let it supersede how you care for yourself. Yeah, that's why we have to set boundaries. Sirius says, I know the feeling. I've been on the receiving end. Yes. You have to. You have to take care of yourself. And that's why I said I wanted to do this conversation, because you never ever know what somebody is dealing with. And I want to say to anybody who is watching now live or watching in the replay, and you are struggling with your mental health, this is a judgment-free zone. I'm not here to judge anybody. There's enough judgments from other people. You're never going to get judgments over here on the Marlene Saunders Show. I don't do that. I'm here to support your mental health. So if you're struggling with something, you're feeling drained, you're feeling worn down, you're feeling depressed and sad, you're struggling, don't feel that you have to go through that alone. You don't. Your mental health matters. And I also have to say, you matter. You matter. And when we're going through situations, I know I've been in those sad period of time, and I'll be telling myself, nobody cares about me. Even when we feel that way, we can't stay in that. Whoever needs to hear that, when you're feeling down and you're going through something, we feel that we're the only one going through it. And I'm here to tell you, from being in a support group, there's people all over the world that are going through our same struggle. But you got to reach out and get some support. Even if you just go to an online support group, there's many of them in Instagram, in Facebook, that will be there and be supportive of you. Don't look for your support from people who don't care about you. If they're already showing that they have this judgmental, angry, selfish nature, they're not going to be there for you. The people who don't care about you will not suddenly change. I tried for many years. I thought if the more I was kind to them, the more I was patient, the more I gave to them, maybe one day they'll change and start to love me. Maybe one day they'll do right by me. Maybe one day they'll tell me they love me back, or they'll show up and they'll give to me just like I give to them. See, I had to learn that I had to stop expecting that people were going to be like me. I had to stop expecting that this person was going to love me. I had to stop expecting that people were going to do right by me. People are not going to do right by you if they don't want to. There are some individuals that they're so selfish that all they care about is themselves. And if you can't give them what they want, they're not interested in you. Those are the people that you got to run away from. Angela says, I was holding out hope that my selfish, negative, dysfunctional family members and friends would change. They never did. And I had to mourn the loss of family I would never have. Exactly, Angela. But the whole thing about that is, yes, we are sad when we don't have certain relationships with people, but I had to learn that there are so many people out there that are open to be your friend. I've gained people that I don't even know, strangers on the internet, through my support groups, that have been mothers and fathers and cousins and friends to me, that have loved me more than my own blood. They've loved me more than my own blood, checking on me. How are you doing, Marlene? Are you okay today? I was thinking about you. So don't think that because you got to cut ties and cut certain individuals off in your own family or within your own friends, that doesn't mean that you'll never have friends. You will. But it's all about our perspective and letting ourselves say, I have to let this go so that I can be okay, I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what any of you are going through and dealing with. I don't. But when we have enough trust, and for me also, my faith goes into that. I have had to have faith that when I release and let go of this negative, when I released the negative, I was able to open up myself for the positive. See, when we're holding on to all of this negative, right? We're holding this negative. That's all we're getting is negative. Our hands, our hearts, our heads are filled with so much anger and disruption that we just are actually losing our minds. But when we release that and say, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to support you. I don't want to listen to your negativity and your jealousy and your anger and your drama and foolishness. When I stopped doing that, and I only started listening to positive things, my life started shifting. See, your life will shift the moment that you say, I deserve better than this. And you do, You do. You deserve better. So I really and truly enjoyed today's topic and discussion. And I will definitely be back on Wednesday at 10. I think I put at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've already set up the topic. So if you have not already, please subscribe to the Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations. Every single time I open up, I do a very important topic on all different sorts of topics. We talk about mental health. We talk about sexual, all things of sexual nature, sexual abuse, sexual mistreatment, all kinds of heavy and dark issues that a lot of people don't want to talk about. I talk about it over here. So if you are interested in this content, hit the subscribe button. I love to have you over here on the Marlene Saunders Show and becoming a part of the chat family. I'm on my road to monetization. So any of you who can, run my playlist. That's a good way to support this channel. I appreciate every single one of you, and anybody who is dealing with something on today. If you feel like you're struggling, if you feel you can't make it through, I'm here to tell you, you can make it through. You're valuable, but you cannot expect people who don't care about you to support you in this. There's a lot of people out there, we're expecting what they can't give. We're expecting what they don't know how to do, or they don't want to do, or they don't like to do. Stop sitting and wasting your time expecting a person who doesn't love you in a relationship to one day love you, to one day stop treating you disrespectfully, to one day just going to turn out and be a good person and be supportive and loving and understanding to you. One thing about people is people are going to show you who they are. And then it's up to us to say whether we like it or we don't. Elevate your thinking, chat family. And you've tuned into the Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. To anybody who is experiencing some mental health issues, I want you to know how valuable you are, and that you don't have to take it, and that you deserve better. If you need to talk to somebody, talk to a therapist. And when this live ends, I'm going to put a link to a hotline that you can remain anonymous and talk to somebody if you need some mental health support. If you need some encouragement, seek a therapist. Call that hotline. Remain anonymous, but know how valuable you are. Never try to unalive yourself. Take your life, be out of here, or be in such a state of mind that you're going crazy because of other people. We have to make a decision to cut off the negative so that we can be our best. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you all back on Wednesday for another real talk and real conversation. Shout out to my mods. Shout out to my mods. Shout out to all of my chat family. Thank you all so much for supporting me and supporting this channel. I'll see you guys back on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everybody have a great rest of your day. And I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what you're dealing with, but I want you to know that you are important. See you guys back on Wednesday. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you so much, Angela, Sirius, Uncle L, Jackie, Angela, and anybody who was here in this live. I appreciate every single one of you. Miss Tamika, thank you all so much. Angela, bye-bye, guys.